Okay, so something my OCD psychologist would say is, OCD would love you to be researching, pain symptoms forever, or to be looking up like mind body content all day long, or whatever other, fixing methods it may want us to be focusing on. And so often something he would ask me in the beginning was like, what are things you would rather be doing than, engaging in that stuff, which I imagine is not super fun or exciting. And I think I've talked about this, but in the beginning we started off just like helping me basically be able to read again without, all those other redirection thoughts coming in. So I think the purpose of today's video is going to be just to show you like some alternative things I've been doing with my day that aren't related to, looking up pain or symptoms or whatever other activities I imagine I was engaging in while in this loop. And I understand that, for some people, if like walking is something they're working on, or that some of these activities might not resonate, but you're gonna get well from that too. If the stuff is in the area in your legs or like feet, you will get well. But yeah, that's why I figured I would introduce some of the books that I've been reading this past year to you guys. Maybe as just an alternative thing to think about, like, maybe I could read this good book instead of, compulsively looking up everything in the mind-body world I could possibly think of, or everything related to my symptoms or whatever it is. So I've read quite a good list this year. Like I said, my goal is to read 60 books by the end of the year. So I'm going to introduce 2 today, and then we'll walk through some of the errands I've been on. Tomorrow's video will probably be hopefully a little more like constructive, a bit more educational. Like I said, I'm headed to the library soon to print out the document I've been sending to people so I could read that to you guys. But let's keep this one casual today. Why not, right? It's summer. All right, let's get started. So first we have this book by Mitch here. It was fantastic. The Stranger in the Lifeboat. So good. If you've heard of the book, The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, that's the same author. And so I'll just read a brief little snippet in case this seems to tickle your fancy. What would happen if we cried out to God for help and someone claiming to be God actually appeared before us? In Mitch Albom's, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, profound novel, a group of shipwrecked passengers must face that challenge when a strange man they pull from the water says he can save them all, but only if they believe in him. Good book. I'll read just a few sentences here. Adrift in a raft after a deadly ship explosion, 10 people struggle for survival at sea. Short on food, water, and hope, they spot a mysterious man floating in the waves. They pull him in. Thank the Lord we found you, a passenger says. I am the Lord, the man whispers. If that doesn't hook you or rope you in, I don't know what will. But again, alternative content to, that other stuff we might focus on, or OCD would like us to focus on. Something else that this psychologist would say is like, again, what would you like an ideal nighttime routine to look like? What would you like your ideal like morning routine to look like? And that was really helpful. So I love to read, and now I incorporate that back into the day. All right, we're gonna move on to the second book for today. Another book I've read this year. I know yesterday we introduced the Situations memoir, Britney Spears' memoir. I'll read a snippet. The Woman in Me is a brave and astonishingly moving story about freedom, fame, motherhood, survival, faith, and hope. In June 2021, the whole world was listening as Britney Spears spoke in open court. The impact of sharing her voice, her truth, was undeniable, and it changed the course of her life and the lives of countless others. The Woman in Me reveals for the first time her incredible journey and the strength at the core of one of the greatest performers in pop history. Written with remarkable candor, and humor, Spears' groundbreaking memoir illuminates the enduring power of music and love, and the importance of a woman telling her own story on her own terms at last. Very good book as well. These are two alternative options for reading material that you can pursue rather than just researching things online, looking it up. The Loop would love that, remember, but you're gonna win. You're not gonna let the Loop win. So there's some reading suggestions. I'll try to cover some more in future videos, some of the content I've been perusing. As you see, I like an eclectic mix. Again, I mentioned Claire Week's Self-Help for Your Nerves. Yesterday, The Situations memoir. Today we've got Mitch and Brittany. Yeah, what kind of stuff do you guys like to read? Have to let me know. All right, just went on a run, which is exciting because I remember saying to my OCD psychologist that was one of the things I wanted to resume doing. I had been running various times over the course of like dealing with this stuff, but it was usually always like, okay, this one run is gonna fix this thing forever. This will be what does it. And I would run my entire old cross-country course a few times. Wow. But yeah, there are also periods I just like stopped running because the Loop will just be barraging you. So felt nice to be on a run on a beautiful day, just to be on a run. What a concept. So yeah, exercise. I know that's something that people often start to avoid, or but really sometimes I'll say to people, obviously with the right support and knowledge that you're safe and you're going to be okay, you could go on a run tomorrow if you wanted to, if you're dealing with, you know, symptoms or whatever form of exercise that you wanted to do. Doesn't have to be that, could be anything. So I'll leave this one off here, but we did it. I'm not sure why I said tomorrow. You could go on a run or do whatever form of exercise today if you really wanted to. You can. It's just that knowledge and awareness and recognition of what's going on in your noggin. So, yeah. All right, people, we are headed to PetSmart. We're headed to PetSmart. Why? Because I'm a schmuck and I didn't know what else to do with my day. So why not just go look at the animals? Peaceful, fun. And if you're looking for, you know, alternative things to do, I thought I'd record this video to give you guys some inspo. So looks like we've arrived. We've arrived at PetSmart. All right, let's go see what we have here. So I went to just go walk in PetSmart. Announcement, it's closed. Guess we'll be going back here tomorrow. Well, before that massive disappointment, I went to Pliables. That was pretty good. I like the Dang smoothie. I get it with coconut milk instead of almond. But yeah, so that was what we did before that just happened. I guess I could go in Five Below, but so maybe it's off to watch The Bachelorette. I have to catch up. All right, talk to you guys soon. All right, so about to go on a little drive, headed to Dunkin Donuts. I don't have coffee every day because I don't always love being like all jazzed up, but sometimes. This Dunkin', so superior to all the other Dunkins you've probably ever been to. Customer service, impeccable. Every day, well, I don't go every day, but every time I'm there, see, slipped there. No, every time I'm there, I see my awesome friends at the drive-thru. They're so nice. We have a nice rapport going. Like, I love going to this Dunkin', so would highly recommend if you're in New Jersey, come visit, hang out with me. We'll go to Dunkin' together. All right, talk to you after this this Dunkin' run. Oh, nice. There's a guy that used to work here. I'd see him all the time. Very awesome. I know he's from Mexico, he told me, because I had just been going there and we were talking about it a while back. And he's back, and it was so nice. He was like, "My baby, you're back. Like, you make my heart so happy, my baby." This is what I'm talking about the customer service here. So again, if you're in my area, we're going to Dunkin' together because you can't beat it. My mom, she's been good actually with not drinking coffee for a while recently, which like I think is a very good decision when people do that. But she also loves this Dunkin'. It's her favorite one. So just throwing that in. All right, now I am about to head off to the library. I'm gonna print off a document that I kind of send to people of just stuff that's really helped me. Cause I have a lot circulating around up here. So I thought, why not just throw it all onto one document? And this way when people reach out, maybe there'll be something in there that's useful. That's the hope. I have made it back. I have made it back today. We're in. Okay, so one example of something you could focus on rather than obsessing over your pain is finding a new cool hobby. For example, I got my dad. I know, we need to skim the pool. I will do a little skimming today. But look at this, like, sweet, $5. And I find that this is a way better alternative than just doom scrolling or being in a sad Facebook group. If I could navigate the boat, let's see. Come back to me. So yeah. All right, so for today, I guess the questions I have for you are, opposed to maybe some of the, OCD-like habits OCD may have been causing you to engage in, or this little loop, as I say, what are some alternative things that you would like to be doing? So what would an ideal morning look like for you? What would an ideal afternoon look like? What would an ideal evening look like? And I know that when we're really, really in it, the answer is like, an ideal morning would look like I don't feel like my head's about to fall off and my anxiety is like raging all over the place, Christine. I definitely understand, like in the beginning or just in general, it's really, really challenging. But remember, You're the one who's going to start to feel really empowered by making those new decisions, kind of choosing new habits that aren't feeding the stuff that this loop would love. And trying to decide, like, what are other things that I would really like to be doing during this time of day? I know I talked about this in the previous video, but I loved Dr. Joe's comments in one of the talks he was doing, or an interview, where he said he was talking about trauma and his thoughts on trauma therapy, etc. And he said, you know, you can have all the insight in the world. You could be like, oh, I'm this way because this thing happened to me 10 years ago, right? But even with that insight, he said the issue is he finds that the behavior or habits don't always change. And then as humans, we're kind of stuck in that same loop. He was giving the example of a woman who had said, like, well, my husband cheated on me 10 years ago, and how am I supposed to, like, possibly forgive that? This is why I'm like this now. And he had said, which is pretty funny, even if we were to, like, strap the ex-husband into a straitjacket and send him to the moon, would this woman then still be navigating some of the same stuff she was dealing with? And that's not like a, you know, a criticism of humans or whatever. It's a lot of us will get into these like various loops. But it's more just a good example of how, you know, we're the ones who can start feeling empowered and shifting our behaviors, shifting our habits to be the ones winning and not letting that little like thought loop win, or even like the behavior loop. And if it feels hard to change those habits of, you know, being in all the Facebook groups related to this, reading everything you can, that's the best news ever that it feels hard, because it should show you exactly what's been going on up here. And now the good news is you can start to brainstorm fun new activities you would love to engage in. So, all right, I'm off to the library. Wish me luck. We'll be printing that document so I could share some insights with you all tomorrow. Like I always say, I'm really proud of you guys. I'm really proud of anyone who is working to overcome this stuff. And yeah, if you found the content helpful, if you want to like it, the video, or subscribe, I would appreciate that. All right, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.